and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabelle, and today I wanted to talk more about what we can expect from August as far as astrology and transits, because we've had a really intense but probably overall really good month. Hopefully you guys really felt like you reaped the reward from the 2 full moons in Capricorn that we had, both in July and in June. And August brings a bit of a new energy, and it generally should be light, beneficial, bringing in the things that we want before we go into September, when we'll have Pluto making some massive changes. So in this video, I'm going to cover all the transits and what to expect from them, how to prepare, advice, all of that. Personalized horoscopes hopefully will come out eventually for this month if I'm lucky. Knowing me, I probably won't, and I'm sorry. If that is something you really want me to do though, if you want personalized horoscopes such as Aries horoscope, Taurus, etc. for each month, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to put out an effort this month to cover at least some of the zodiac signs. Let me know what your zodiac sign is in the comments below, and I'll try to make a horoscope for you guys. And of course, check out the links in the description below for all things readings, astrology course, and more. So this month we start off with, of course, the new moon in Leo, which is really setting the stage for what I think we can expect from Leo season. Overall, I feel like we've had some pretty light Leo seasons the last few years. I think we may have had a few transits last year that were a bit intense, just from personal experience. I don't remember. I don't keep that in my database of memory. But overall, I do think that Leo generally, with the archetype that it is, does bring a lighter energy to us all. This is the second fire sign of the zodiac, and we are in Leo season as of July 23rd, I believe, of 2024. July 24th. Yeah, 24th. Maybe the 25th. But overall, we entered Leo season just recently, and it's as the second fire sign of the zodiac wheel. As we can feel this energy present, it represents the eternal flame, so to say. I think of it as a campfire. Aries is more so the spark of life, the trigger, the spark that can become anything. It can be in a lighter, it can be to create a campfire, it can be to start a wildfire. It has unlimited potential, and it's very uncontrollable, or what at least it controls. But Leo represents much more of a passionate, stable energy. Excuse me, just got something stuck in my throat and checking my phone because it is getting a bit warm with the sun coming through. So I'll probably have to move that at some point. But the idea behind Leo season naturally brings to us a sense of drive to live life to the fullest. It is a sustained energy. It is a fixed zodiac sign, which does kind of touch on a fixed mentality and how we can benefit from that, or we can use it to our detriment. So Leo season then brings the Leo new moon, which is going to be prominent on, of course, it peaks on August 4th, but we will feel the energy from the 1st through the 7th. So starting August 1st, we start off with a bang with the new moon in Leo. And I think this is a really powerful one that also wraps up more themes that we've started at the beginning of this summer, because during the full moon new moon in Gemini on the 5th of June, we had Venus in the same sign of the new moon in Gemini. And then in July, last month, we had the new moon in Cancer, conjunct or in the same sign as Venus in Cancer. And now we have Venus in Leo. As far as the energy leading up to the new moon, but still a bit present, we're feeling the final effects of Venus being in Leo as it's in the final degrees of Leo, entering the sign of Virgo. So we can kind of feel that we're fading out of this theme of conclusions around what it means to love life and what it means to experience what you're going for in your love life. You may have felt like over this summer so far, you have been really resetting intentions around what a love life means to you. You maybe were improving your relationship, changing your relationship boundaries, setting new intentions, maybe becoming more independent, maybe becoming more curious. It's very likely that you're setting new boundaries, so to say, with what you expect of your partner, with what you want them to be, and how you can provide more of that for yourself so that you can love life rather than be reliant on your love life. There's also some things that I've been feeling too personally, hence why I mentioned them. So this is a loud car. 1st through 7th, we have the new moon in Leo, new initiations, new changes around the Leo archetype. And I think it's been really great that generally we've been having a bit of a week or so before each new moon to basically feel out these energies of each zodiac sign before we set new intentions with them. So you're probably already feeling the energies of Leo season, feeling the desire to go out and play. It's the peak of the summer. You want to be the life of the party, take all the shots, have all the fun, lead your life very, very much with integrity. And this is even more true if Leo is your 10th house, or it may be just that you're leading your life and your career with more integrity and challenge and passion with it if it was in your 10th house. But overall, we're all wanting a desire to take the lead, be playful, lead with love and joy, and be powerful leaders as a result. So you've already been feeling those themes coming up, the desire to play. And now with the new moon in Leo, we will be experiencing a shift in how we interact with the world and how we interact with the Leo archetype. Same day as the new moon, Venus enters Virgo the 4th of August. And this brings more of an accentuation to maybe balancing, I think, our desire for play with a desire to take care of ourselves. You know, oftentimes Leo can get their fire burning too hot, so to say. And I think Venus and Virgo will help us temper ourselves a bit to take care of ourselves. We may be focused on physical self-care or even just embrace some humility, be a little more humble. With that, you know, just generally thinking about Leo themes. Leo's not just play, it's love, it's courage, it's joy, it's the idea that passion lies in the mix of love and confidence and courage. So love and courage create passion, and what passion is something we should live by. So what are you feeling passionate about now? Of course, whatever sign you are will indicate where Leo will be affecting your life. The energies of Leo, if you're an Aries, this is your 5th house, this is a time for love. If you are a Aquarius, this is your relationships. If you're a Leo, this is your time to shine. On the 5th of August, we will have Mercury Retrograde enter Virgo, which means we will probably be reassessing some communication. We may want to have all the fire, all the passion, all the play, as we usually do during Leo season, but we're feeling a bit of this withdrawal, at least in our communication. So as far as the technicalities of our life, we may have to reassess some things. Overall, I do not personally have the same approach to Mercury retrograde as many astrologers, because a lot of astrologers tend to say, you know, don't text your ex, they may come back, don't be careful with your emails. And that it could be very much true, but I try to think of Mercury retrograde more as a time of self-reflection, because while we should keep astrological transits in mind for our lives, for the fact that Mercury retrograde happens so often and seems to be such a negative portrayal, I think it has a negative effect on our lives. So instead, for Mercury retrograde this year in Virgo, I invite you to reflect on what truly matters for your self-care. Mercury retrograde in Virgo, as the same sign as Venus right now, has us reflecting on a bit of love themes. But mainly, I think this is going to play out because it's Virgo as what helps us take care of ourselves. What do we, what's our relationship like with being critical on ourselves? It's probably a lot of a theme on how our inner dialogue affects our sense of self-love, in my interpretation. I think this is going to be a time for us where we may be recognizing some of our negative critical patterns and becoming aware of them. This could also mean that someone of course, because it's Mercury retrograde, a communication, a connection could be coming back into your life. Someone could be coming back into contact. Someone who specifically has Virgo energies. If you know any Virgos, this could be a theme. Not necessarily just romantic. Anyone could really be coming in during this time. I would say that the more we work on our positive dialogue with ourselves, the more positive connections we will gain and the more positive result we will get from Mercury retrograde in Virgo overall. And the fact that this is happening pretty much at the same time as the new moon means we're really setting new intentions about this as well. It is a bit activated. The idea that we're saying new intentions around the Leo archetype at the same time as this happening means it will play a role. Probably a good time for us to spend in contemplation, in self-reflection. Mercury being retrograde during the shadow period of the new moon does put a focus on self-reflection, along with, of course, new moons, new things, new initiation, new things coming into our lives, new things happening, new ideas, new intentions. On the 8th of August, as everyone knows, we have the Lionsgate 88 portal, which I'm personally not going to give a lot of information on because from my experience, I haven't felt the energies that much in my life. With the 88 portal, there is overall a little bit more feeling of confidence, but I think the thought manifests itself. The 88 portal is the idea that this is the day we can tap into the Lion's Gate energy, this portal that opens up that can bring in manifestations, but specifically I think this is a focus for us on abundance and prosperity. It is the numerology 8, which is abundance and power. How can you own your power? You've just set new intentions with this new moon. You've just left new moon shadow period. How can we step into this more to embrace our power? We may be able to rapidly manifest because of this during this time. If we set our intentions right during the new moon in Leo, if we're really stepping into what makes us feel passionate and playful with a level of self-awareness and self-reflection, as Mercury retrograde asks us to, we can manifest things on this day. It may take until the day after the portal is open because things are coming into our world. It may take a day for us to see them. But overall, the 88 portal, positive energy that day. Then I don't think I wrote down the date for when this happens, and I don't have it pulled up anymore, but I do believe pretty soon after, around the 10th. I'm going to try to get the information while I'm chatting with you guys. But we have a conjunction between Mars and Jupiter in Gemini. I'm super excited for this one because I have super strong Gemini energy. My Mars is in Gemini. I love Jupiter energy. I feel like it always brings in really positive things for me. Jupiter can expand the negative. So again, I think this month has a really big focus on wherever you put your thoughts is what you're going to get, which is something that is prevalent in our lives in general. As manifestors, we create our own reality regardless of how negative your situation may feel. Now's the time for you to maybe shift those thoughts. If things haven't been going right for you recently, how can you shift your thoughts to shift your vibration, to shift what you attract? We are magnets. We have frequency. And this is something I know I've really felt this last 2 months. I really started manifesting a lot of things. And as a quick shout out, I sold my first course, the Master Astrologer. I want to say thank you out there to that person who bought it. You know who you are. Thank you so much. You are amazing. I really hope you are enjoying the course. And thank you guys all so much for the support. Back to the conjunction though. On August 13th, Mars conjuncts Jupiter in Gemini. Like I said, whatever you think about or whatever you focus on is what you'll expand. So how can you focus on the positive? Oftentimes Jupiter is said that it can expand the bad because the world wants us to be in our Saturn. And I think that is a false presumption. I think that we can continue to expand if we just only focus on what makes us feel good. That's truly the teachings, though, of Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks. That's what I believe. Maybe you believe differently. Maybe something else works for you better. And that's fine. But on the day of the conjunction, the 13th, excuse me, Mars will conjunct Jupiter in Gemini, which puts a focus on our actions having higher reward. We will probably feel really hyperactive that day. wanting to get things done. Now that is a good day to do networking, to finish projects, to write, to do anything that involves creating or socializing. This is Gemini we're talking about, which has to do with the hands and communication and curiosity. This is where we are interacting with the world. Try to make sure you're observing what's happening around you. Look for the signs around you. These things can be really prevalent right now. You may notice, especially because we have retrograde Mercury during this time, that while you're walking down the street, you may see someone you haven't seen in a long time. And this would be your invitation that day to reach out to them, to stop them in their tracks, to catch up. This could lead you on the right track towards prosperity. And this is what Jupiter talks about, abundance. Abundance could come in many ways for you, especially depending on where Gemini sits in your chart. Maybe it'll be your relationships. Maybe a love interest will come into your life. Maybe it'll be a financial opportunity. Maybe it'll be a business partner. Maybe it'll be a career opportunity. Opportunities are strong during this day. Bringing more expansion really works well, I think, with the energies of Leo. Leo naturally makes us playful, open, and loving when we tap into it well and don't repress it, or else it turns into... My phone got overheated because I had it directly in the sun while I was filming. And you can even see when my hand hits the sun how insanely bright that is. So we moved the camera, it's a little farther away. But as I was talking about, I feel like this energy of Gemini really actually works well with Jupiter, or with Leo, wrong word, because while Leo knows that passion for life fuels life, they're playful and open, Gemini on top of it is very open as well, regardless of the fact that Leo's a fixed sign and Gemini is immutable. They're both very much seeking a high passion, a high feeling. So Scorpio could really fit into that description too, but there's a lightness about Gemini and Leo that is going to, I think, work out really well. So overall, there's an energy this month of curiosity, and Jupiter and Mars conjunct in Gemini on the 13th is going to accentuate this even more, to bring in something really good. Something really good is happening for all of us this month. Something new is coming in. Maybe something new with love, potentially. Maybe you're going to have a new form of love with someone who you knew in the past. Maybe a past connection will come in and decide that they want to do something different. Someone who has some form of very Virgo-esque energies, very practical and mundane or simple. Maybe something new is happening there. And maybe this is accentuated on the 13th. Maybe there's a little bit of conflict though there too. On the 13th, we start to feel the energy of a T square all the way through the 20th. So this will affect us for a week, which because of that, I wouldn't let it sway you too much. Do keep it with a grain of salt, because letting a whole week of your life be affected mentally by a planetary transit that could be considered harsh, I feel like would be limiting personally. So from the 13th through the 20th, we have a T square, which is Mars is conjunct Jupiter and square Venus and Saturn. So we have Mars conjunct Jupiter and Gemini, which could bring in something really, really good. It means that our actions are going to feel like they reap higher reward. The more we act, the more we are curious, open, teaching, learning, socializing, the more we can receive. But there's a bit of tension, conflict of interest between these two planets and Venus and Saturn. And the reason this is a T square is because we have them in two different signs. So I believe Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, which as of my knowledge hasn't changed or won't be changed on this date. So Jupiter and Mars in Gemini form a square to Pisces energy and form a square to Virgo energy. And I want to confirm just on my chart that that is kind of what I'm seeing and get more information on that. But generally, what this indicates, simply put, whenever we have Jupiter and Saturn squaring, this is quite the standoff. And I'm sure you're going to see a lot of astrologers talk about this because they're going to make it a big deal. And it kind of is. But here's the thing. Jupiter and Saturn are a yin and yang. And I love this concept so much. You can, I'm sure, tell how passionate I am about it because I'm immediately getting more energetic to talk about it. But with this energy, Jupiter and Saturn are yin and yang. They're two sides of the same coin. And they basically are really seen in modern day culture. We have manifestation and we have the grind, the hustle culture, where everything is either hard earned, well deserved, took a lot of effort, or we completely surrender and allow things good to come to us. Now, as I'm saying that, I invite you to ask yourself, which end of the spectrum do you think you fall on? Do you think hard effort and restriction and control and strength and discipline will get you what you want? Or do you believe that you can just get in vibrational alignment and receive? Granted, we do need action. And that is what Mars being conjunct with Jupiter is accentuating. That aligned action does get us to what we want. But as we're feeling this energy, we're going to feel Pisces retrograde, Saturn retrograde in Pisces pulling us back, saying, no. You need to be more responsible. You're going to energetically wear yourself out. That's how I see this playing out. Saturn in Pisces retrograde really does put a emphasis on how we navigate our energetic boundaries, which means how do people take our energy? How do people make us feel like we have to be different? How do people make us feel exhausted? And this is something good that we've been doing. We've been more energetically responsible for us. When Saturn is retrograde, we're reflecting on, oh, this is what takes my energy. We also, though, may be getting into funks. And Neptune is here in the sign, of course, I believe, which is also making it a bit delusional at times. We have to get out of our own rut, get out of our own head. And the best way to get out of our own head is by doing something sometimes. And that is what Jupiter and Mars in Gemini are accentuating, saying, just do. Don't think, just do. That is a quote from the Maverick sequel, or Top Gun sequel called The Maverick. I love it. Don't think, just do, maybe. This is also, though, squaring Venus in Virgo. So we may feel like our desire for expansion does not align with what may bring us closer to love during this time, is my interpretation. We may feel like we're being it's hard to find a middle ground between finding simple love and being practical in love versus doing something impulsive naturally. And I would say that in the end, the advice is to go in alignment with your heart, but there may be a bit of conflict here. If you're dating someone during this time, if you're in a relationship, someone close to you may be on one of these ends of the spectrum. They may be strong in the Saturn placement, in Pisces energy, or in Virgo energy, or in Gemini energy, and you're going to be at a different standpoint. I think this is naturally how these squares play out, is something or someone in our life is really dominant in one of these energies, and we're feeling called to another. And it's important to ask ourselves, where do we want to stand? A square generally means that there's no way to meet all of them in the middle other than having a little bit of everything in our lives. And I love to use the houses when it comes to squares, because the houses in astrology really do remind us that there is separation. Sometimes we can't be all the things we want in one area of life. Sometimes it takes separating a little bit. So maybe for me, Virgo's my 10th house. 9th house, actually, mainly. So this square will be taking place in my 9th house, in my 7th house most likely, or 6th, and in my 3rd house. Duh. So I'm probably going to feel a bit of conflict in my career maybe at the moment. Do I want to create? Do I want to be a writer? Do I want to just do I want to focus on different career paths? That's going to be a bit of a conflict. And the best way to decide is just by going, how can I have a little bit of everything? And what makes me feel in vibrational alignment now? Naturally, I do think with Jupiter being in Gemini, conjunct Mars, I do think we want to take action towards curiosity, and it can be hard to talk ourselves into it, but overall I think it'll help us in the long run. It'll bring expansion. Just connect with your values as Venus asks us to do, and make sure you're being energetically responsible for yourself. On to the next transit. I think so really that week is going to be an intense one for us. With the 13th through the 20th, we have the conjunction, the T-square that was going to feel active, and we also have, on the 14th, Mercury Retrograde enters Leo. So it already had been in Virgo, but it'll retrograde long enough to enter Leo, which means during this, on top of this intense square, that's going to be making us feel a bit conflicted and questioning what to do. We also have Mercury still retrograde, which brings some mental confusion. And as it enters Leo, we may feel more desire to express ourselves egoistically, and maybe on top of it though, we could do more self-reflection on what it means to express ourselves with passion, or how we want to express play. We could be doing If you're an Aries sun or rising, such as me, like me, you may be having to do communication about love and passion in your romantic relationships. This could be when Mercury retrograde enters Leo. Generally, we are reflecting once again on how we communicate ourselves in Leo ways, which is taking the lead, being assertive, stating our opinion. They are a fixed sign. This is where it will really come out. On August 19th, which really affects us the 3 days before and the 3 days after, we will have the full moon in Aquarius, which means, of course, so from the 16th to the 22nd, did I do that right? Roughly. And also, did you hear my water pump there? I forgot to turn it off. It's a bad habit of mine. I need to remember that more. And the creepy sound it makes every now and then reminds me. But on the 19th, we have the full moon in Aquarius, which will help us, I think, get away from this intense energy of the square, which is going to affect us for a long time. So might as well just take it with a grain of salt. And the full moon in Aquarius brings some sort of fruition to our innovations, fruition to our community, fruition to our level of detachment. The full moon in Aquarius always during Leo season does remind us that detachment is good. Disassociation is not. I remember a yoga teacher actually telling me that during a yoga class 2 or 3 years ago. I was in Idaho and I was really in over my head, just so to say, about life, really invested. I really wanted a relationship and I had no opportunities living on the road and just being so young and away from people, not going to college. And I was just very invested, a lot of conflict in my family, and I just didn't know how to get out of this pit of suffering, so to say, or this suffering spiral. And ironically, this woman who was teaching yoga was saying how detachment during the full moon in Aquarius, detachment can be your savior, but not disassociation. Where do you draw the line? That is something that will be brought to light during that time. What is the difference to you between detachment and disassociation? You may be able to really just step into this energy. I think because it's a full moon, we'll be able to just soften into a detachment. So you may have felt a lot of conflict the week before about what you should do with the T-square, and then you'll be able to go, okay, I just need to step back a little bit and be less invested in what's going on around me, because there's more to life than my problems, and the more I focus on a problem, the more it's accentuated. So then after the full moon in Aquarius, which I will have a video coming out about that eventually, we have on August 22nd, the Virgo season begins and we leave behind Leo energy. So during Leo season, we were really just focusing on what true passion means to us. And I think this is going to be primarily channeled to help us get into passionate alignment with our manifestations, passionate alignment with our desires. Someone's coming back, someone's reaching out to you. And it could be a romantic relationship or a business partnership or a past version of yourself. Something is coming back with Mercury retrograde and you are initiating a new value with it. You're initiating change and you are remembering that this has to be in alignment with yourself. This has to be in alignment with what makes you feel good. And the best way to get the things that feel good in life is by continuing to do what feels good now, which I know is not a common philosophy for a lot of people. They feel like they have to have sacrifice in order to get what they want. But that's just about having a conscious awareness of what you're choosing. Is it really that it makes you feel good, or does it make you feel not so bad? Choose what makes you feel good. I feel like I should put that on a plaque. That's a really good reminder that I probably even need to. But Virgo season starts August 22nd, which means that we are focused on our stable, practical routines. Look to where Virgo is in your chart. What house is it? This area of life may be somewhere you want to focus on during this time. Overall, we're feeling practical, humble, and simple, winding down for fall, getting over any unhealthy habits that we maybe let get hold of us during summer, maybe getting back on our diets, going back to the gym, all those good things. And maybe even being a little kinder to our digestive system, as Virgo rules over the digestive system. We have a Venus trine with Uranus on... I forgot to grab the date. 27th. On the 27th of the month, we will have Venus trine Uranus, which means that something unexpected again could be happening in your relationships. This is in Virgo. So as you enter Virgo season, you may have a sudden shift in values. I think this is probably actually the single most likely way this will play out, not even so much relationships, because this is Uranus and Taurus we're talking about, the sign of values, which is often associated with the second house of wealth and values and worth, and Venus, which is the planet of love and values. So this is really going to be an emphasis on shifting probably something in our life, shifting something in our value system, and that could affect our love life, affect our finances potentially. Depending on what house those two signs are for you in your chart will change how that affects you. Maybe you have something financial coming through. Overall, it will be positive because this is a trine. It'll be a material gain, definitely. This could be financial for a lot of us because it's material. It could be something else. It could just be something that's in the material reality, so to say. With the T-square that we had in the conjunction with Jupiter and Gemini, this puts an accentuation on mental fulfillment, whereas this trine with Venus and Uranus brings something unexpected, material gain in our lives. A financial gain, a relationship gain, someone bringing you flowers. I'm kind of hoping for that one. Not gonna lie. But something good is happening here with our physical lives. And on August 28th, the day after, Mercury stations direct, which means no more need for self-reflection, less of a demand on self-reflection, less miscommunication, moving forward with intention on how to express ourselves. Thinking differently could be promoted. Thinking proactive work on your mind. Developing yourself now is good, rather than reflecting on yourself. I always think of Mercury retrograde as when we assess what thought patterns are already here, assessing what's already in the mind, and Mercury direct is when we go, how can we improve this? So basically self-development is more accentuated when Mercury's direct. Also, I want to note again, actually really quick, on the Venus trine Uranus on the 27th, Uranus is said to be the higher octave of Mercury. It represents the higher mind. So think about how you may need to change your habitual way of thinking in order to reap the rewards you want with your love life or your love for life. Think differently. And finally, on the 29th of the month, right after we have that trine in Virgo and Taurus, Venus enters Libra, which means that we are looking for partnership. We are looking for love. It's cuffing season has begun. We're getting those intentions in place to maybe be in a relationship, which should be walked. It's a fine line. Make sure you're in alignment with your desires. Ask yourself, what does partnership mean to you? This could be a good time to just connect with friends. This could be a time to just enjoy being in a relationship without so much pressure on what that person looks like as far as how they fulfill you. We've done a lot of self-growth this summer. We've done a lot to assess how we can be more independent, focus on ourselves, focus on our life enjoyment. And as we go into fall, given that it's going to be Libra season, Scorpio season, even a little bit of Virgo season, we're moving away from our focus on ourselves to letting people into our lives now that we've allowed ourselves to enjoy ourselves. So use this month to really manifest the desires you want, get into a vibrational alignment, lead a life of passion, of joy, of enthusiasm. And when you hit those road bumps that tell you, oh, you should do something different, ask yourself, what do I want to deem true? What will feel good? And what thought patterns do I need to change? What thought patterns are currently going on? How are these all just a byproduct of what the world around me taught me to think? Some food for thought. But let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this monthly prediction. Should I do these more? Please let me know in the comments below. I don't know for sure if I'm going to do one next month. So let me know if you enjoyed this interpretation in the comments below. And on top of it, let me know if you want horoscopes, or if you're someone who maybe wants to learn how to give your own horoscopes to yourself, because frankly, keeping up with everyone else's can be overwhelming. I know it is for me. I've started looking into my own Aries horoscopes for this month, and it's overwhelming oftentimes because everyone has a different interpretation, and they're fun for sure. But in the end, I want to be able to personally look at each of these events happening and go, what is my interpretation of how this is going to go, and how do I want it to go? And being able to do that has taken time. It has taken a lot of knowledge. It has taken a lot of scouring the internet. So if that's something you feel too, that you want to learn more about, like giving yourself your own horoscopes, but it is frankly overwhelming and you don't know where to find all the knowledge, then I have put together a astrology course, which I have briefly mentioned in this video, the Master Astrologer, where I teach you everything you need to know to read the stars, read actual birth chart wheels, to interpret current events and what it means to have a planet natal versus transiting. You learn everything you need to know to be an astrologer in a practical, simplified way. So if that is something you want, I would love to see you in the course, in our community, where we all share our learning, share where we're at in the journey, and you can learn how to be a master astrologer. That's in the link in the description below, the Master Astrologer. And I will admit I've been offering 50% off this course. So if you want to get 50% off, then leave a comment below. And I was going to actually say leave a comment below and I'll tell you the instructions, but I'll just tell you the instructions in the video. If you want to get 50% off my course, I'm only offering this to 10 people. And so far I haven't had many takers, but I have a feeling it's because I posted on my community and I don't know if that really gets seen. But I'm offering 50% off my course. And if you want to claim it, only 10 people get to. All you have to do is share one of these videos. You could share this very video with someone you know who, of course, maybe isn't subscribed to my YouTube channel. Share it with them, take a screenshot, and email it to me. I will put my email in the description below, but it is hello, as in hi, at makingmindfulnessfun.com. That is hello at makingmindfulnessfun.com. Email me that screenshot, as well as make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and send me a screenshot of your subscription and you'll get 50% off the course. I'm only offering this to 10 people, so check it out. Link is in the description below if you want to learn more, or just hop on this offer now to get the course for only $150 as opposed to its normal price $300. Really, this course covers everything. I'm really excited about launching this. I know this is something a lot of you have wanted for a long time, and I know you're probably thinking I'm talking way too long on this sales pitch, but I'm really just so excited to share this with you guys because this is something I've thought about doing from the beginning, and it's taken me a long time to get around to it. But I'm really excited about it because I do know it's going to help a lot of people learn astrology who are tired of scouring the internet for information all over the place and instead just want one clear, cohesive funnel that tells you the depths of astrology and also simplifies it. So check out the Master Astrologer. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars, personology, and more. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.